Here we are again. As I said, BattleBots is right around the corner. I am so excited, genuinely really excited. Now, we already looked last time at 10 new robots that are coming to the season that I cannot wait to see. And this time, we're going to be looking at 10 returning robots that I'm excited to see. Now, there's two things to mention real quick. There's some obvious ones that sadly are not returning this time due to, the current goings on. So, sadly, no Minotaur, which easily would be high on the list. But the other thing is, I'm going to try and avoid the really obvious ones. So, no Sawblaze, no Tombstone, no Witch Doctor. Like, these are ones that I think are really obvious. And so I want to try and avoid them. I want to try and give some credit to these robots that are returning that maybe get overlooked. We already know why Tombstone's the best. We already know why Lockjaw is so incredible. I want to give some attention to robots that maybe don't get as much credit as those robots. And we're going to start it off with Ribbot! Oh my god! Ribbot is actually really good! Oh, I'm not going to pretend like Ribbot's the greatest robot in the world, but it's actually surprisingly good. Incredibly tough underneath the exterior. It's got a pretty good weapon behind it. The wedgelets were very good. And Ribbot looks to be even better this time around. Honestly, the fact that Ribbot could go toe-to-toe with Endgame, given how Endgame was the season before, that gives me a lot of hope. It makes me think that there's something to Ribbot. I'm not expecting it to go all the way, but Ribbot is one of those robots which could very easily pull out an upset. I am stoked. I'm genuinely so excited, and I cannot wait to see Ribbot in the battle box once again. Then we have Beta. Beta's returning after all this time. Oh my goodness. You have no idea how excited I was when I found that out. Beta is up there as one of my favourite hammer/axe bots. John Reed has just this amazing talent. We've seen it with the likes of Terahertz, and we even saw it with Beta's original run, bringing Tombstone to its limits, in my opinion. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact that Tombstone had snagged the hammer mechanism last time, I think Beta could have very well had that. Honestly, though, it's all in the past, because Beta is incredible, and it's coming back. And now it seems that the team have learned from some of their past mistakes, and I'm genuinely excited. I'm so stoked to see what happens. My only thing is, I just hope they have some answer for going up against vertical spinners. Robots like Lockjaw and Black Dragon are going to be fierce, so they need to have an answer for that. One robot that does have an answer this year for that is Shatter! Oh my god, yes! I'm so thrilled. Shatter absolutely exceeded my expectations last season. It's got the great drift drive, which has actually been really helpful, in my opinion, for it, in gliding around so seamlessly and easily. The hammer is so powerful, swinging down with a lot of force. And the armor, my god, the armor is thick enough that it can take on Witch Doctor. Keep in mind, Witch Doctor was number 2 last season, and it was still able to endure all of those shots. The only thing that I had a problem with was they didn't have a very good answer when it came to those vertical spinners. Those verts, it was just endure the shots and hope that you can hit it enough times. Well, this time around, Shatter has forks, and that is brilliant. I'm so glad that they have that, because now it means that they have a better chance. It's the same thing that helped Blacksmith go from, an alright, decent hammerbot into a top contender. And if Shatter is is still as good as I think it will be, then I've got to say, Shatter could very well make it into the top 16. honestly, I think it could happen. If Blacksmith could do it, and Shatter has made those adjustments, Shatter very well has that possibility of shattering everyone's expectations. Then there's Mammoth. Oh yeah, Mammoth. Mammoth is great. Like, it's so absurd, but that's kind of what I like about it. Like I imagined, it's basically made out of breadsticks in terms of its armor, but that lifter, that really works quite nicely. We saw it do well in its fight against Axe backwards, and while, yeah, I don't expect it to go very far because, yeah, a lot of robots have quite nasty weapons, I honestly am stoked to see it in action again, and I hope it gets another nice lift in because, whew, that thing is really good, in my opinion, or at least very entertaining. Sometimes a robot just needs that one little bit of appeal to it. It's like with Nightmare, for instance. Nightmare was never going to really win the entire competition, but its whole appeal is that absurdly big vertical spinning disc, and you just wanted to see it get up to speed and land a hit that, like, would shake the entire world for a second. And I feel like that's the kind of case with Mammoth, where it's not going to win the whole thing, but you want to see it hook onto an opponent and lift it up with that gigantic spinning lifter. So all I'm hoping for with Mammoth is get another good lift in, because oh my god, that was so much fun to watch. Then we have Whiplash. Now, I know Whiplash is kind of more in the category of actually expected to be hype when it returns, but honestly, I'm really looking forward to it, especially because due to the fact that there's there's less people returning, we're not seeing Bite Force, for instance, it gives me hope that Whiplash could make it really deep into this tournament. I genuinely think that they've got a very good shot in this one. Maybe not go all the way, that ultimately depends, but Whiplash is a robot that has consistently, for the past 2 seasons in my opinion, done relatively well. It's a very well-designed robot, and I think the only thing they really need is just that additional bit of armor to take it over the top when fighting Tombstone. But saying that, the driving on Whiplash is always so good. Matt Vasquez is an incredible driver, and Whiplash is always so much fun to watch. I can't wait. It's going to be good. Then we have Black Dragon, and oh my goodness, that robot is everything I was hoping for. It's a beautifully powerful egg beater spinner. It and Railgun Max, which sadly Railgun Max isn't making it this time around, which is a shame. I hope we get to see them next time because I loved them and their blocks of cheese. But Black Dragon is coming around once again, and I am stoked. It's a wonderful robot from Team Warrior. It hits like a truck. It's got that little flamethrower built in. Honestly, Team Warrior are always incredible in the battle box, and I don't think it's going to change here. I think they're going to come in and they're going to do a lot of damage. When I say that there are verts that you have to be careful of, and that's why I keep hammering in that you need to design with them in mind, it's because of robots like this, because if you aren't ready to face Black Dragon, you could very well end up having to take your robot out a bit at a time. And then we have Sharko! Sharko! Yeah! Oh my god, Sharko is back! Oh, this is the best news I've ever heard. I love Sharkoprion. Now, I should point out that sadly this is the last time around that Sharkoprion will be under the control of Edward Robinson, but it's going to be good. I'm certain of it. I mean, it looks visually, it might be the best looking robot out of the entire season. That is a robot that has clearly had a lot of attention put into its aesthetics. Now, this time around, it's a flipper. And honestly, I'm always up for more flippers in BattleBots. And I'm honestly excited. I don't think Sharkoprion's going to be like the greatest robot of all time, but from an aesthetic point, from a fact that it's probably going to be at least pretty decent, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing it again. Then we've got P1 Evo, and honestly, it looks just as great as ever. Incredibly sleek, very well put together, and it's got little wedgelets at the front to allow it to get under robots more easily, while still having a quite solid wedge to deal with horizontals. My main problem last season was that the weapon didn't seem to quite have the oomph that it needed, but I am hoping and praying that this time around it does, because I honestly think that a front hinge flipper would actually be quite good in the battle box. Get itself some control, especially when there's a lot of spinners. You get them spinning out of control for a while as you chase after them. That's control and aggression right there. I'm honestly really looking forward to seeing what happens when P1 Evo gets into the battle box, and I'm hoping that this time that they can make up for the performance last season. Good luck, guys. Then there's Hydra. Yeah, Team YRG made it onto both lists. This is my channel. Sue me. Don't actually. Hydra easily took the crown as the king of flippers in BattleBots. So much so that there were actually a number of teams that wanted to make it into BattleBots. Sadly, due to what's been going on, they couldn't. But I'm so excited. That's going to be a whole other set of robots to talk about if they make it next time around. But that means that for the time at least, that Hydra is still very likely going in as the top flipper in the game. And Hydra is incredible. If you didn't see it last season, it flips basically as high as Bronco. It's incredibly compact. I think the only thing that was a problem for it was it's not as rigidly armored as it needed to be. So if they were able to improve it this time around, then good lord, that thing is going to be special. That is going to be an attraction. History has proven that flippers can be one of the top weapon types for robots, so there's a very real possibility that Hydra could go the distance, which makes it particularly exciting for me. Either way, whether they win or they lose, I know that the fights are going to be spectacular. Just Team YRG have continuously been upping their game every single season, and it's genuinely remarkable. Very excited to see what comes out of this. And then finally, we have Chomp. Now hold on. I know that Chomp is a bit of a hot topic for a lot of people, but at least let me try and explain this. Now, do I expect Chomp to win? No. Do I expect Chomp to even get that far? No. But here's the thing. I love what they're trying to do here. So, if you're aware, well, you probably are, Chomp has always had a problem of, flopping around when it gets tipped over. Now, they've tried a few different ways of getting around this in the past, but this time around, they're doing what I think no other robot in BattleBots is doing. Recently, BattleBots made the return of the walker weight bonus. If you're not aware, walkers are a lot more complex, and so to incentivize it, you get a weight bonus, which can mean that, within the rules of course, you can just get away with having like a far more powerful weapon, without sacrificing your other capabilities. And so Chomp has done just that, getting double the weight. Chomp is now like 500 pounds. That thing, look at this picture. It's gigantic. I mean, that's probably the smartest thing to do. No crazy technical shenanigans to try and keep it upright. Just full on double the weight. This means that Chomp can still have one of the most powerful axes in the business, and it can be incredibly densely armored at the same time. Honestly, the way that the robot is built is genuinely quite interesting to look at. Chomp is always a robot that's been surprisingly well put together, and I think that the walker weight bonus is a step in the right direction. Sure, it's never going to be as fast as these wheeled robots, though, to be fair, they've got this nice armor band around it, so if a robot like Tombstone tried to come along, well, you're going to have a little bit of a job on your hands to get to those legs. The only thing I'm worried about is vertical spinners once again, but outside of that, I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing what Chomp can do here. Win, lose, it's always great to just see robots trying these brand new things, and I hope that this is the start of many more walkers. And there you have it, 10 BattleBots that I'm so excited to see return for the new season. Honestly, as it's obvious, I'm not going solely based on how well a robot can compete. We've got some amazing robots this season that are guaranteed to be great competitors. But sometimes it's about the creativity. It's about bringing something that no one else is doing, or taking that design and bringing it to the next level. Honestly, I'm so stoked because this is possibly one of the more varied seasons of BattleBots of all time. The return of the walker weight rule is such a great thing, and I think is going to allow some incredible designs to make their way in the future. I'm genuinely excited. I remember seeing Gloom Weaver, for instance, which sadly can't make it, but I'm telling you right now, they make it next season. I'm saying right now, it's getting a slot in the new robots next time around. I'm stoked. I am excited. BattleBots is the best robot combat show going on right now. It's possibly going on to be one of the best robot combat shows of all time the way it's going. Either which way, I think it's going to be great. Be sure to check out BattleBots on Twitter and Facebook to stay up to date and to find out when these amazing robots are gonna get into that battle box. There's even more robots that I didn't even mention, so be sure to check that out. Remember to support the teams. The teams all have Facebook pages. They all have a way for you to check out up close and personal what they're up to. With that all being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please remember to give it a like. Remember to subscribe for more. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!